Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, let's discuss the Infosys L1 and L2 interview rounds asked for Selenium plus Playwright. Okay, so the interview has been conducted for both Selenium as well as Playwright. Okay, since the candidate has been mentioned Selenium and Playwright as skills in his resume. Let's get started. Okay, in the round one, they mainly focused on advanced core concepts, that's on Selenium, Playwright, and automation fundamentals. Okay, so the initial question goes like explain the architecture differences between Selenium WebDriver and Playwright. Okay, so you can see, right? So this is a simple architecture example you can give to the interviewer. Okay, so you can explain how it works. Okay, Selenium usually sends the command through WebDriver protocol, that's W3C drive WebDriver. So the command first goes to the browser specific drivers such as Chrome driver, Gecko driver, and or Edge driver. Okay, and then the driver translates the command into browser actions. The browser executes the action and sends the response back. This is how it works internally, and the advantages of using Selenium is it supports the multiple browsers, it's an industry standard, and it has a large community support. There are some limitations of using Selenium WebDriver, like extra driver layer introduces the latency issues, and its synchronization issues are common, requires explicit wait in many scenarios. And this is a Playwright simple architecture where you can demo it to the interviewer. So internally, Playwright communicates directly with the browser using Chrome Dev Tools protocol for Chromium and native browser protocols for Firefox and WebKit. Okay, so no separate browser driver is required, and commands are executed much faster because there is no intermediary driver layer. Okay, the advantages of using Playwright is it has supporting on faster execution, no browser driver management, it has built-in auto waiting mechanism, better handling for modern web applications, and it supports multiple browser contexts. Okay, so the next question goes like how does Playwright internally implement auto waiting and actionability checks? Okay, so Playwright automatically waits for an element to become actionable before performing any operation. Internally, it continuously checks conditions such as whether the element is visible or enabled or stable or attached to the DOM and able to receive user interactions. Only after all these actionability checks pass does Playwright execute the action. Okay, so only of sorry this built-in auto waiting mechanism reduces flaky tests and minimizes the need for explicit waits. Okay, this is a sample uh, command. So when we perform this command, before clicking, Playwright automatically verifies if the element is visible, element is enabled, element is attached to the DOM, and element is stable. Okay, and element can resume click events. The next question goes like what's the difference between implicit, explicit, fluent waits, and why implicit waits are discouraged in frameworks? Okay, so implicit wait is a global wait applied to all the element searches, whereas explicit wait waits for a specific condition, and fluent wait is an advanced explicit wait that supports custom polling intervals and exception handling. In automation frameworks, implicit waits are generally discouraged because they affect all element lookups, increases the execution time, create debugging challenges, and can cause unpredictable behavior when combined with explicit waits. Therefore, modern frameworks prefer explicit or fluent waits for better control and reliability. And the next question is about how do you design stable locators for highly dynamic React or Angular applications? And the next question goes like how do Selenium and Playwright handle the shadow DOM elements? Explain the page object model versus page factory pattern versus screenplay pattern. Okay, and how does Playwright manage browser contexts and isolated sessions? Can you explain the synchronization issues in Selenium and how Playwright solves them? What is a headless execution? What are its limitations in continuous integration environments? So, and the next question goes like, how do you handle the high frames, nested frames, alerts, and authentication pop-ups? Okay, and these are the set of round two technical interview questions. These are mainly focused on coding plus real-time automation scenarios. Can you write an optimized Selenium scripts for login with reusable utilities and validations? Okay, you might need to share your screen and write a snippet of code. Okay, and then can you implement the same login flow using Playwright with the fixtures or hooks? Okay, again they might ask you to write a sample code and also to explain the answer for this. Can you write a reusable screenshot plus logging utility for a failed test cases? And how do you implement it? How to handle custom drop downs using Selenium and Playwright? And the next question is about automating file upload and download validation scenarios. How to implement retry logic with configurable retry count in framework level. How to read the test data dynamically from Excel, JSON or API response. And can you write a automation logic for handling multiple tabs, windows and session switching? Can you write a code for validating the API responses and integrate API plus UI automation flow? So a high level code, or you can explain the high level solution. Implement how to implement reusable explicit weights for dynamic loaders or spinners. Explain your CI/CD integration strategy using Jenkins or GitHub Actions or Azure DevOps, whatever your current project is familiar with. How would you achieve parallel execution using across the browser and environments? Explain the major automation challenges faced in your project and the solution implemented. How do you identify and fix flaky tests in enterprise applications? Can you explain the implementation of logging, reporting, screenshots, and video recording in frameworks? How does Playwright support network interception, API mocking, and HAR files? The next question goes like, how do you stabilize automation for micro front end or highly asynchronous applications? How would you scale automation for enterprise applications with thousands of test cases? What factors do you consider before deciding whether a feature should be automated or not? Okay, so guys, answers for all these interview questions and 10,000 and along with detailed answers. And if you are looking for end-to-end interview preparation kit along with detailed answers, which contains 10,000 plus real-time interview questions and step-by-step answers, which has been designed for 0 to 15 plus years of experience and which actually covers the actual questions asked in almost all the top companies. Please do check out for the link in the description and also in the comment section, and let me know if you have any queries or questions. Okay, so thank you so much for watching my video. All the best for your upcoming interview.